Hi, second grade. It's Mrs. Miller back here talking about author's purpose. Last month we talked a little bit about author's purpose, and for the next 2 weeks you're going to be working on the standard to figure out, is the author answering a question, explaining a concept, or describing something? So I'm going to give you some clues for how you can tell if an author wrote this nonfiction text or informational text to answer or explain or describe. So I have a couple resources here. I have this Scholastic True or False Butterflies and Caterpillars. And what I love about the answer is it's pretty simple. If you see that an author starts out their text with a question, you know that they're going to do ask a question, answer, ask a question, answer. So the answer one is kind of an easy one. And my text starts right out with, butterflies have 6 legs, true or false? So the author wrote this informational text to answer that question, if they have 6 legs. And if you remember, yes, that's true. And the text continues with different questions that the author asks. I also have another text called Sharks. And in this text, the author starts off with, what is a shark? So that gives me a big clue right away that I know that this author is going to be answering the question about what is a shark, or do butterflies have 6 legs? So one of the clues you're going to look for is, if you can tell the author wrote a nonfiction text to answer, you're going to look for question marks. So you're going to look for question marks. That's going to help you know if that's going to be an answer, author's purpose. All right, the next one is explain. And you might recall this text. I believe Miss Auerbach read that a few weeks ago. So in this text, the author had some steps that they showed. The author talked about how first the butterfly lays an egg on a leaf, and then a few days later the egg hatches, and then the caterpillar eats. And so there's a sequence. It's kind of like the steps of how a butterfly grows. I have another example. This one was right out of one of our National Geographic Kids magazines. This one, you can tell that it's to explain because right there it gives you the steps. It says step 1, put this in a mixing bowl. Step 2, step 3. So when you're giving directions and you're given steps on how something grows, like a life cycle, or how to make something, or how a machine works, that's going to be the purpose of explaining. So that's kind of like we call the how to. So it explains how something grows, or how to make something, or how to work a machine. So when you're reading a text to explain, you're being taught how to do something. And usually there's steps. And so when you see steps, you might see those transition words like first, then, after, finally. That'll give you some of those clues to let you know that the author is trying to explain. And last but not least, probably my favorite one, is describe. Because you won't see question marks, you won't see any sequence of how to do something. You're just going to see rich vocabulary that's giving you a picture in your head, kind of like what we did with imagery in poetry. So in this text, Mighty Spiders, spiders up, spiders down, mighty spiders all around. 8 strong legs, tough, hard skin, silky webs to scurry in, spiders anywhere you please, on the ground and high in trees. So in this text, I haven't even read the whole text, but you can see that there's lots of describing words. Tough, hard, 8. So those are all kinds of description words or adjectives that authors use to describe something. I have another one called Scaly Facts. And in this text, lots and lots of describing words. The yellow-bellied sea snake uses its tail like a paddle, moving it side to side while zooming through the water. With its flat shell, the African pancake tortoise can squeeze into tiny spaces out of its enemy's reach. So many times, if you cannot find the purpose of the author answering a question or explaining how to do something or steps or order, the description, you're going to be looking for all kinds of adjectives. And those adjectives paint a picture in your head, kind of like how imagery did in poetry. Okay, so I hope that helps you determining what the author's purpose is. Good luck on your assignment today.